We begin with that breaking news. Congressman George Santos in federal custody. He is facing a 13-count indictment, including charges of theft of public funds. We have live team coverage. Christina is live in Central Islip, where Santos will soon appear in court. Marsha Kramer standing by with political fallout. We begin with Christina outside federal court.
Well, Mary, for all those people who have been following Congressman George Santos's web of lies, it was never a matter of if, but when he would be criminally charged. Earlier this morning, he was arrested, then processed inside this federal courthouse behind us. And later this afternoon, he's expected to be arraigned on a wide range of alleged financial crimes. Embattled Congressman George Santos avoided the crush of media in front of federal court, surrendering himself through a back entrance as a 13-count indictment against him was unsealed. The charges include 7 counts of wire fraud, 3 counts of money laundering, 1 count of theft of public funds, and 2 counts of making materially false statements to the House of Representatives. According to prosecutors for the Eastern District of New York, Santos defrauded supporters by convincing them to donate $50,000 to a bank account for his campaign. Instead, they say the money was transferred out and used on personal expenses, including designer clothing and paying off personal debts. The indictment also alleges that even though Santos had a job during COVID, he applied for government assistance, falsely claiming to have been unemployed, receiving more than $24,000 in unemployment insurance benefits. Santos's office hasn't returned calls for comment.
Will he be at votes tonight?
His director of communications ignored reporters as she left his D.C. office Tuesday, while calls are intensifying for him to be removed from office.
I thought he should resign a long time ago. I didn't think he should ever be here.
Speaker Kevin McCarthy says he would only call for Santos to resign if he is found guilty.
If a person is indicted, they're not on committees, they have the right to vote, but they have to go to trial.
And if convicted on the charges, Santos faces a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison. Reporting from Central Islip, Long Island, Christina Fan, CBS 2 News.
Christina, thank you. We continue our team coverage with CBS 2 political reporter Marsha Kramer. Marsha, there are a lot of questions about what is happening here. Congressman Santos was arrested early this morning, arrived at the courthouse, and we are still awaiting that arraignment. Why is this taking so long?
Well, it's what courthouse people would call, he's getting the full perp treatment. What happens is that after he surrendered, they had to photograph him, they had to fingerprint him, but more important, they're asking him a lot of questions that will go to whether or not he should get bail. And so they're going to find out if he has multiple passports. They're going to ask if he has multiple places where he lives. They're going to have to decide whether he's going to have the ability to go from district to district, i.e. from Long Island to Washington, et cetera, and discuss a lot of things about whether he's a flight risk. You know, for example, if he had a Brazilian passport and he could flee to Brazil, that would be a problem.
I wanted to ask you about Brazil, but first, let's talk about the political fallout immediately from all of this.
Well, you know, there are renewed calls for him to resign. There was another Texas congressman, a Republican congressman from Texas, Tony Gonzalez, who called for him to resign. Mike Lawler, a fellow New York Republican, has also called for him to resign. But the question really is going to be about what happens in Congress, because Speaker McCarthy needs his vote on the debt ceiling vote. And so it's really a complicated thing about whether he should resign, he shouldn't resign. Now, if he does resign, there could be a special election very, very soon, and then the people who live in the 3rd Congressional District could soon get a new congressman.
You mentioned Brazil. Let's talk about that. This is not the end of his legal troubles, is it?
No, it's not. I mean, he is a Brazilian national, and in 2008, he was involved in a check fraud case in Brazil where he basically stole somebody's checkbook and used it to buy things at a Rio de Janeiro store. But that was postponed because they couldn't find him, and now that they know, because he's become so notorious and notoriety, they now know where he is. There's a hearing tomorrow in Brazil about this case, but that's not all the problems he has. You know, there's also an ethics investigation that's being conducted by Congress, and this indictment raises a lot of concerns about that, because it says that he lied on his financial disclosure forms about the amount of money that he was getting. He claimed he made $750,000 and that he had about $1 million in a savings account. All those are lies, according to the indictment.
Marcia Kramer, thank you. We know you'll be following for us. Appreciate it. Stay with CBS 2 on air and online for the very latest developments in the Santos indictment. You can get new information around the clock on our website, cbsnewyork.com, and streaming on CBS News New York.